Now, in my space in self-improvement, there was one topic that is very specific and very, very popular. You can see it on my channel. My most viewed videos are actually about this theme. And if you could have already guessed, it's actually masculinity. Now, this is all great, and the space of men self-improvement is filled with these traits like masculinity, toxic masculinity, and all of this stuff. And this movement has definitely become a well-known thing even around the world. We know Andrew Tate, Hamza, and all of these people who are actually really popular, gaining millions and millions of views. Andrew Tate actually being the most googled man on this planet, and his core kind of principle and goal is actually pushing the traditional masculinity into other men who are not as masculine as him or as his brother or some of the people that kind of are around him. And we see more and more men kind of hopping on this, not so kind of a trend of just becoming more masculine, giving into their true essence that they have deep in their hearts. And it's just truly beautiful. But this can also be fairly not dangerous, but it can be taken badly, because there is this whole thing of new red pill that is basically dedicated to basically hating women. And this is true, you know, there are a lot of red pillers out there that are pushing this message that you shouldn't love women, that this is something that is, you should totally put aside your desires for women and for actually relationships and for intimacy. And I think that is truly wrong, because masculine men still love women a lot more than basically anything, but they're just simply not focused on them, but yet they're focused on their goals and on their true purpose that is deep inside of their mind. So basically their heart is kind of listening to their primal desires for women, but their mind has been programmed in a way that they're focused on their goals. It's not that if you want to become successful, if you want to become masculine, you have to hate women. Absolutely not. That's literally the biggest lie that you can ever listen to. So please don't listen to it. You don't need to hate women. Maybe you need to distance away from them a little bit so you can become more masculine. Because if you're under effect of women, you're probably going to become more feminine because they are more feminine. The same is like if a woman is actually hanging out with men more, or has more male influence on her, she's going to become more masculine. That's literally just common sense, and it basically comes to that part of you are the medium of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's literally just common sense, and we can see it everywhere. There are these new masculine women that are pushing masculinity, and because their fellow women can better relate to them, we're seeing the rise of masculine women. And that's also why we see feminine men walking around the world. Well, because there are certain sorry for using that term, but they are weak men at the top pushing this agenda of weak men, feminine men. And that's why we see hundreds of thousands of men folding under that peer pressure of someone that they like take a lot of idolism, and they take a lot of kind of respect towards. And that's why we see those two extremes. But do you think that this message, this new message, the new masculinity, the new femininity is actually good? Do you think it's spread around the whole world? Do you think that we see these movements in countries like in some of the African countries or something like that? No, because when the times are super easy, like they are in the West, like they are even right now in some other places that are maybe even a little bit Eastern, you can see more and more kind of going out of your zone, going out of something that your body and what your true essence calls you towards, what your tradition calls you towards, Because the times are easy, and why not? Why not try something exotic? Why not try something that is different when you can? While in the more kind of countries with maybe wars or maybe not as high economy, where the times are really, really hard, maybe the inflation is really, really high or something like that. In the places like that, we don't see these movements spread out as much, because people actually have to work hard and they don't have the time to focus on some stupid movements pushing this and that. That's it, bro. And as we see now, men kind of got rid of it, got enough of it, of this truly just killing of the tradition, killing of the true essence of men and women, and they're now standing up for it. And we see Tate being locked up in Romania and probably not going to be kind of let out of prison for months now, probably. And do you think that he really done what they told that he done? Come on. TikTok and all of these stuff has definitely ruined not only this part of our life, but in general our lives in whole. I'm going to make a video specific about this social media, and I'm going to try and explain it a little bit further, what it's pushing and how it looks in some of the other countries that are not so Western, that are not so economically high, just so you can see the difference between hard and easy times. Now, strong men are going to be needed much more than you think. They are needed even right now much more than you think. We see these earthquakes in Turkey and in Syria. And if I'm not going to lie to you, do you think that without masculine men we would see more or less people dying? I think the answer is fairly obvious, and that we would see more victims of the earthquakes. Because who do you think is going and saving those men and women, those people? Who do you think is going down in those buildings that are totally destroyed, trying to find life? Masculine men. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Click and watch this video. I think you're going to enjoy it a lot. Subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment, give me some feedback about this video, about some of my other videos. And by the way, go to my community post and ask me some questions in the Q&A tab. Again, thank you for watching. Faye be the reason, and see you tomorrow. Peace.